Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel. Today, cryptocurrencies, the top 10, are looking kind of stagnant and some are moving to the negative direction. But in the last 1 hour, we can see there is kind of a small bounce. But yeah, that's in a shorter time frame, say 1 hour. So when we actually look at this, we can actually see that the price was, now this is XRP on a 60-minute chart. You can see that the price was moving to the upside, and that this particular area it's kind of getting consolidated. So if you draw a trend line here, you will still have a doubt whether the price is still moving within that trend. So as of now, yes, it still respect that support line, but we'll have to see what it is going to do after, because the trend line support there is looking at this one, you can actually understand this is like a rising wedge, and usually the rising wedge break to the downside, 60 to 65%. But yes, if there is enough volume and buying pressure, then the price can reach 0.25 and then break to the upside. Now guys, we have some interesting information from Twitter, and from today onwards, as one of my viewer highlighted, don't just, like he pointed out, don't just take out articles from Twitter. Instead, try to get it out from others. So I tried to do my own research today, a little bit more considering the previous videos. So today I'll be going through some of the news articles directly, and then we'll discuss through all of them and do our own technical analysis. We'll go through the chart of XRP, we'll go to the chart of BTC, and there are other technical analysis as well from different authors. So we'll actually compare what they are actually talking about, and what is our perspective based on this one. Because not every analyst has the same view. Say for this one, he's showing that even though it moved this much high, the price can go down substantially. So yes, it will be different from individual to individual based on how they are looking at the chart. Say if you are looking only at short-term charts, or if you are looking at a long-term chart, say 12 days or 1 week, say 1 week, 12 days or a month, it's up to you. So personally, I consider daily chart and weekly chart more reliable for a long-term perspective. But if we are to look at shorter time frame, then 12 hour and 4 will be good for that. Before jumping into the news, I would like to request you guys, if you guys like the content I provide on a regular basis, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you guys have any suggestions, do let me know in the comment section below. So without wasting time, this is the first one, and we can see that it's from @Stradas. So Q4 2019 XRP markets report showcases that they have actually went down in sales, but you can see, including MoneyGram, GoLance, Wire Americans, and other institutions, they have actually over dozens of companies who are actually working in on-demand liquidity, which is using XRP. And the corridors are like USD Mexico, USD Philippine Peso, ODL corridors. The company went into production with XRP payments originating from Australia to USD and Philippines. So, and a new production for this will be Euro USD. Plans for additional corridors across Asia Pacific, Middle East and LATAM are in progress for 2020. So we can actually see that only the existing one is like this, but we are actually expecting to come up with a multi currency corridors. So say at least 2 to 3 corridors will be live in 2020. But the thing here is, even if Euro USD is just one corridor, what you have to think is Euro is a common currency used in many different countries, right, across the Euro zone. So that's kind of a huge, because there's a lot of expatriates working in that area who will be sending back money to their loved ones to support them. Now there's the next one from Stevie Ripple, showing that Washington is actually making other countries to hold back, blah blah blah. So the article is actually suggesting that UK told to hold fire on April tech tax. Now yes, when we look at these kind of tax system which they are gonna actually come up with for say technology companies, maybe it can be pointing towards the crypto industry itself. But what we can say from this one is like, if they are to do that, then it will be kind of difficult. And from a recent interview in Davos, we came to know that they were actually talking about bringing in a new tax format for the technology sector, but it will be kind of worldwide, or at least all the OECD nations will be using that format. So yes, this can be pointed out, like some of the countries is actually trying to push it down. So the OECD said that there's need to be a global agreement on technology company tax, because it's kind of global players, right? They have, if say for example, the company is being taxed 30% in one nation and 10% in another nation, of course the company will try to move its profit to the side where they have much profit, right? So that's the kind of reason governments are looking at this to make more money in. Now there's another article from Cointelegraph showing that India central bank says it hasn't banned crypto. So previously the knowledge from India was like, yeah, it looks like they have already banned cryptocurrencies, but now it says RBI has not prohibited virtual currencies in the country. RBI has directed the entities regulated by it not to provide service to those persons or entities dealing in or settling VCs. So it's like, they directly say that they haven't banned it, they just stopped institutions providing that. Say if you have an exchange in India working with them, they're saying no, we won't be dealing anything with you, we won't be transferring your payments, we won't be doing business with you from crypto to fiat. So it's kind of a drama itself. So in effort of a regulation, India's central bank issued that statement in 2018 April, limiting service to anyone participating in crypto usage. So in view of associated risk, it has been dedicated that the immediate effect, entities regulated by RBI shall not deal with or provide service to any individuals or business entities dealing with this. So it's kind of a push back again. So we'll have to actually look what they're actually coming up with. When the OECD nations are coming up with a new thing, then yeah, we will have to check what the country is going to do. Now this is the next one from the Chain Bulletin, showing Huobi reveals licensed brokerage platform focusing on institutional investors. So that's kind of getting huge, because if they are gonna bring it up and highlight the same in a forum like Davos, then it's gonna get kind of attention. And they're actually highlighting that the VP of global business at Huobi Group announced Huobi's first brokerage solution at Davos 2020, licensed by how is it pronounced, Gibraltar? Yeah, I think it's something like that, for needs of institutional clients to operate globally. Assets will include Ethereum, EOS, Bitcoin, Cash, LTC and XRP, among other fiat channels. So the fiat channels will be Euro and GBP as of now. So still we can see that Euro and British Pound is getting into that. So we can actually expect that 2020 corridor for Eurozone soon. That's actually a positive news connecting these from here. And if you actually read excuse me guys, that was a bad thing. Now, if you guys read through that, you'll understand that there's an industry-wide consensus that institutional investors and high net worth individuals will be the major contributors of the growth for crypto economy in 2020. So guys, if you actually read through this, that'll be informational, because you can see that what they're actually laying out for Q1 of 2020, Q2 of 2020, like Q1 they're actually offering these, which is like BTC, USD and all other cryptocurrencies. Then when they are actually talking about Q2 2020, they're actually looking at custodian service like alpha products and interest rate products. That's kind of huge, because the banks, financial banks, when you put your own fiat money, you don't get much of a tax nowadays, right? So if they're actually coming up with something like that, that's going to be huge. Now there's the next one showing that Bakkt's consumer app is coming in 2020, and it will look more like PayPal than Coinbase. So considering PayPal, Coinbase is not that user friendly. Say a new 60 or 70 year guy, or child, say not child, teenager, say 17, 18 or 19 is actually coming in, it'll be actually hard for them to understand how this works, right? Whereas PayPal is like really easy. If you want to send out, it's like an email, it's really user friendly. So if Bakkt is actually gonna come up with a consumer app like that, it will actually increase adoption. Now that's my perspective. I think that if they are actually easing it down, say how to use it, how to buy this, say how to buy XRP, how to buy Bitcoin, then yes, more of individuals will be going to do that. Now that's my perspective in that. Now I actually wanted to show you guys one more tweet. Now this is actually from the digital asset investor, and as you can see, he's actually stating, today I'm sitting beside a guy that manages investment at one of the largest companies in America. He leans over out of nowhere and says, I need to know how to get into these cryptocurrencies. I said, your company knows that is happening, don't they? So he's like, yes, where do I put my 200K? So that's a sure question. So, the comedy for me, which I feel is here. I hope you guys can read this, right? Now, yeah, you can take your own decision from that. If you want to judge him, you can, otherwise it's up to you. Now the next one is from AMB Crypto, showing that XRP records 322% growth in its active addresses over the week. It's not, we are not talking about months or years, it's just in weeks. So XRP was leading crypto asset in terms of growth percentage of active addresses over past 7 days. However, it is important to note that in terms of number, the third largest crypto asset had only 10.9k addresses in the industry. I completely agree with that, but what you have to look at it is the increase of percentage in last 7 days was huge. So some kind of adoption or something is happening in the background. You guys can actually smell that, right? Now there's the next one from Token Hill, and it's like 188 million Ripple in total were moved from Bitthumb to an unknown wallet in Japan. So the XRP Ledger Monitor actually showcased that this much was actually moved, and it's actually showing that since January 10 of this year, this much of crypto were actually transferred from exchange Bitthumb to the same unknown wallet, as the data from Bitthumb website reports. So it actually shows the next target for, now this is a tweet from Crypto Maniac. He's showing that the next target for XRP is 0.3 break above for a bull run, but I don't, it's not going to happen in 1 day or 2, but yes, anything can happen in this crypto industry. Now this is from Crypto Potato, and it's showing Ripple price analysis, and we'll actually discuss through that based on our own analysis. That's a different story, but yeah, based on them, they're actually looking at there's a resistance line, it's kind of stagnating there, and it's kind of a channel upside, and if it's breaking to the downside, then short-term price they are looking at 0.24 0.25 as resistance, but you can look at 0.23. that's what they are pushing it. But if it's already at 0.235, then 0.23 is not that far away. If we just like, whenever the price moves, it just moves like 5-10% to the downside or upside. So yeah, it can happen. Now there's the next one showing breaking this variable is spark strong rally for XRP, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because as of now there's no much announcements. But yes, I also agree that in 2017 when that bull run happened, there was not much adoption, no much of announcement in this quantity we are having now, but still the price went so high. But still, this is technical analysis, right? So what he's actually showing is that there was a break above the Fibonacci retracement level to the downward movement. So however, the price faced a strong resistance near 0.24 area, and it seems to be struggling. So yes, we kind of accept that the price is actually struggling at that particular point. Now this is the next one is actually showing that the other one is kind of it can move much higher when we break this level, but this guy is showing like we have actually moved. Yeah, I agree, like we moved 35%, but the possibility is like the price can actually come down. So it's like there's a tweet from Crypto Dude showing difficult for me to be bullish on Ripple right now, because this was previous resistance support and the price is below that. So unless we break above this area, it's kind of doubtful thing to look at a bull run. That's what his perspective is. Now there's the next one from cryptonewsflash.com showing Ripple two new partners and the US Treasury back Ripple and XRP. So that's not, they didn't actually directly mention that. Instead, they actually mentioned companies or technologies which are handling cross-border payments. So that's actually a good news when they're actually directly mentioning this. And we saw a reply from Brad Garlinghouse that, okay, what you told is really good, just put that into work. So that's actually a good thing. Now, Trianglo integrates RippleNet. So Trianglo, a fintech company from Southeast Asia, will also integrate Ripple's technology. According to the company's project manager, is implementing RippleNet last November. Earlier this month, the company also announced partnership with China's Alipay. So you can see that this is actually really happening. The adoption is actually moving just by days or hours. We are getting more news, fundamentals increasing. What is there in store for XRP? We don't know, but we know the probability, right? Because the central banks, the gigantic banks working with it now, the governments are working with this, so they're actually gonna make this happen sooner. I don't think it will take 5 to 10 years or 2 to 5 years. Instead, it's gonna happen maybe 1 to 3 years. The chances are that in 2 years we'll see a major movement in terms of the adoption, but I don't know how that will affect the price, because usually, as experts like say Brad Garlinghouse states, in the long run it will be the use case which will actually push the price of a digital asset. So in that aspect, the price should actually go up high. Now this next from News Logical, showing one of world's oldest humanitarian aid organization adopts XRP. So again, it's adoption, right? KUSA, one of the most oldest humanitarian aid organization founded in 1945, has adopted XRP token. So if they're using that, that's another story, right? If say you are a organization, you are going to accept XRP and say a digital asset, why will you do that if there is no much adoption for that thing? Because no one will be able to pay you in that if no one is actually using that, right? But at the same time, you have one more perspective when it's XRP, because if someone is actually going to pay you in that, the transaction charge will be so low, the transaction will be completed in seconds. So that's one reason for that. Now that's my perspective. Now there's the next one from Blockchain Game Leader. The next one from Finance at .yahoo, showing that blockchain game leader SuperTree closes $3 billion bond investment to expand services and IP. So what we have to look at there is SBI Investment Korea participated in this investment. So that makes like SBI is a high play of Ripple, the company, XRP, the token, and now you can see SBI Investment Korea said it is expected that the game industry use of blockchain technology will become active around the world. In fact, Ripple, which ranks third in the market value of cryptocurrency in March last year, raised $100 million to accelerate the adoption of blockchain in the blockchain game platform. So they are kind of pushing this one from one side. That's what I want to highlight to you guys. Now guys, that's all for today in terms of fundamental. Now we are jumping into the technicals. Now looking at the chart for XRP, we'll directly go into 1 hour chart, and as we discussed yesterday, there hasn't been much of a movement. Yes, you can see the price is kind of consolidating here, so it's not moving much high, so it's still ranging here. So unless we come to the downside or more to the top side and break here, expecting a big run would be kind of a difficult thing. So instead we'll actually look at BTC, because most of the time when BTC moves, other coins actually move with it. So this is a 1 hour chart of BTC, and as you can see, it's kind of similar to that of XRP, or Bitcoin Maxis will be actually stating no, Bitcoin is moving in this way, and that's the reason why XRP is moving like that. But if you actually look at this, I personally see this like this. See, the price actually broke below that. So if you are actually looking at this, then I'll say Bitcoin has already broken to the downside. Now this is short-term chart. This is a rising wedge and the price just broke to the downside, so we can expect something coming back to test this support area. So say 8,100, 8,200, it's actually possible. So if we look at Bitcoin on a daily, we can actually see that it's sorry about that, it's not that bad. But still, the chances are that the price can actually revisit the 8,000, 8,200 areas. Now we'll actually look at Ether in USD. So this is Ether USD chart, and as we talked last time, this looks actually bullish in long-term view. When we are looking the chart, say 4-hour, we can see that the price is actually kind of going to the upside compared to other tokens which we just talked, say for XRP or BTC. But here, as you can see, that the price was having a resistance line here, then the price broke above that. Now that resistance line is acting as a support, so that's kind of bullish news even in shorter time frames. So that's for XRP. Now we'll actually look at LTC chart. This is LTC on a 4-hour, and it's getting even better news than that of Ether. So it's like it's also moving to the upside, and at the same time, you know, the push from the support line is a bit more high. See, this is a negative line which came, negative bar which came down to test this support, but instantly the next candle got a shaped bullish bar and it went up. Then you got a continuation pattern here. Now it's like a bull flag, so the price should actually bounce from there. Now that's my perspective based on this chart. And guys, these are the news which we discussed today. So if you guys actually like the content I provide on a regular basis, please do support the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you guys like the video, please do hit the like button. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.